So once again, hi parents and students. Welcome to the first lesson of our problem sum mini course. My name is Chris Siu. Okay, students, you can call me Mr. Siu. I'm from Math Accelerator Center. So before we get started on our first lesson, please allow me to give a short introduction on who we are and what we do. So we are a Math Specialist Center, and we specialize in helping students with borderline grades to turn around their results within a short time. So our office or our center is located at 1 Marine Parade Central in a building called Parkway Center. May I know how many of you have been to Parkway Center before? You have been to, say me, right? I see. Okay, some of you have attended, right? Okay, so all right, so most of you have looks like about half of you have attended before. Okay, that's great. So now the next thing is, now why do we want to organize this mini course, right? So the objective of this mini course is because we want to start a series of online lessons to provide students who are struggling with problem sums with some help. Now, most of them do not have a systematic approach in identifying the keywords in the question and applying the right strategies to solve them. So we want to start this course to improve mainly their techniques and their understanding of the mathematics concept and build their confidence in solving problem sums. And we also be demonstrating on how problem sums can be solved in a systematic manner. All this preparation will be useful to the students as they prepare for their upcoming assessment. Some of you will be having CA1, a continuous assessment 1, while others like the P5, you'll be having WA1, weighted assessment 1. Right, so all these are the upcoming exams, which I think will be starting from next week and the week after. Right, that's just a brief introduction. So the next thing is, here's the lesson outline for today. So there'll be two parts. The first part will be the heuristics, and the heuristics will be on the simultaneous equation. We'll be discussing 3 questions. Then in part 2, we'll be discussing some trending questions that usually appears in term 1 assessment, right? The term 1, so we will have 2 questions based on the P5 exams or P5 tests, and 2 questions based on P6 tests, right? Before we get started, here are some ground rules. Audio is muted. Communication is through chat only. Please participate actively, because the more actively you are able to participate in learning, the more you will learn. So please be more responsive when you are asking questions and answering questions. So asking questions, please go through the chat. And when I ask a question, please answer, right? So that will help you in your learning as well. No spamming on the chat, so please be considerate. Listen attentively and write down the solution. And most of all, have fun while learning. Okay, so how many of you have downloaded and printed the worksheet? If you have, can you type ~1? Right? If not, right, you don't have, right, can you type NO? Okay, most of you have ~1, huh? Okay, so now if you have not printed out the worksheet, it's fine. You can read off the screen as I go through. But try not to copy the question, right? That's not the important thing. You can go back and download the worksheets during your free time. Most important thing is participate in the discussion so that you learn something, right? Instead of busy copying the stuff. Okay, when you copy, then you'll be a bit lagging behind the rest of them already. All right. So let's get started on the question. So now the first thing that I want to discuss is what are simultaneous equation, right? What are simultaneous equation? So this is one of the heuristics that upper primary students will be encountering. So in solving simultaneous equation, there's always 2 things, right? The number one, there's always 2 items in the question, but with unknown value. Later I'll elaborate on this. And number 2, there's always 2 sets of equation or 2 combination And from these two sets of equation, you should be able to find certain clues to solve the question. So let me go through the first question. Right, 3 mangoes cost as much as 2 durians. Bernard bought 7 mangoes and 4 durians for $78. Find the cost of 1 mango. Okay, we have a question here that says, can there be 3 items with unknown? Yes, of course, you can have 3 or more, but in primary school, normally it's just 2. All right. So now, after I read the question, the next thing is, how do we solve this, right? So let's underline some of the keywords. Identify the 2 sets of equation. This is the first equation that says that 2 mangoes is cost as much as 3 mangoes cost as much as 2 durians. So this is your first equation. So label number 1. And then later, Bernard bought 7 mangoes and 4 durians for $78. So this is the second equation. Same thing, we have 2 items. We have the mangoes and we have the durians. However, we do not know the actual value of the mango or durians, right? So let's write out the first equation. That means 3 mangoes is equals to 2 durians, right? Then the second equation, I normally write on the right side. It says that 7 mangoes and 4 durians cost $78, right? So now, in order to solve this equation, right, we need to see which is the one that we can eliminate easily, right? So by eliminating easily, I mean, are we able to make them into the same value, same number before we cancel them out? Example, you will notice that here is 2 durian, here is 4 durian. I can easily make this equation into 4 durians, right? Can you let me know if this is 4 durians is equivalent to how many mangoes? Okay. Right, we have 6. So now, that means we multiply this equation by 2, right? And we get 6. So now we notice that 4 durians cost as much as 6 mangoes. So here we have 4 durians here. We're going to replace this with 6 mangoes. And we're going to rewrite the equation again. So 7 plus 6, I'm sure you are quite familiar. That will give us 13. So we have 13 mangoes. That will give us 78. Can I give you 20 seconds? Can you grab a calculator and find out for me what is the cost of 1 mango? Once okay, please share your answers with me. All right, thank you, En Hui. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Mikhail. Right, Desmond. Okay, it seems like most of you are able to do it. So it will be 78 divided by 13. And like I think about 20 of you have responded. The answer is 6. So our answer here is $6. Okay, those who have not responded, can you let me know, do you have $6 as your answer? If you have, please type me too. Right. Okay, I see. Okay, how many of you have problem solving this question? Right? You have problem solving this question, can you type a double question mark? Or understanding this question, right? Okay, seems like nobody has any difficulty. That's good. So the next thing is, how many marks would this be? This in P5 would be 3 marks, right? So in P6, maybe it will drop to 2 marks. So that's how it works. No, you should do the worksheet during the lesson. All right, hope I answer your question. So let's move on. Any more questions? Please let me know in the chat. So can I explain again? Okay, Ken, one moment. I'll do one more round of explanation. First, you need to know, Chloe, do you understand that we have 2 sets of equation over here? Please let me know yes or no, right? Since you requested for it. Okay, so we have 2 equations. So the first equation, 3 mangoes equals to 2 durians. Second equation, 7 mangoes plus 4 durians equals to 78. So this is the second equation we have already earmarked. Now, in order to solve this question, we must find we must eliminate one of the items, either the mangoes or the durian. Since we are looking for mangoes, therefore, we need to eliminate the durians. So far, so good. If you understand again, type yes. Right? Okay. Next. From here, so in order to find 6 mangoes, the value of 4 durians, as we can work out, is equivalent to 6 mangoes. So I do a replacement. So I replace 4 durians with 6 mangoes. Right? Then I add the two together. I get 13 mangoes. It has a cost of $78. So Chloe, so far, do you understand this part? Okay. So if 13 mangoes is $78, do you agree with me that if we divide by 13, we will get the cost of 1 mango? Right? So now, is it okay? Now, can we, if we are able to move on to the second question, can you please type Q2, everybody? Okay, so let's move on to the second question. Yeah, if they ask for the cost of now you have already worked out the cost of 1 mango, you just replace that. So you know that you work out the cost of 3 mangoes, that equals to 2 durians, and you divide the total by 2. Yeah. Okay, the next one. So the cost of 2 durians, the cost of 2 similar notebooks and a file is $10.50. The 2 such notebooks and 5 such files cost $26.50. So we are supposed to find the cost of a notebook. Same thing, you are able to identify 2 items, notebooks and file. So we also have the first equation over here. And this is the second equation, right? This second equation. So we're going to write out the 2 equations. Here, 2 notebooks and a file costs $10.50. The second one is 2 notebooks and 5 files equals to $26.50. All right. So now we need to find the cost of a notebook. $4 per notebook is okay. Let's check later. So now what we need to do is first, here we have 2 notebooks and a file. Here we have 2 notebooks and 5 files. Right. So therefore, we will put this equation below this, and we're going to do a subtraction. Okay. So now we're going to do a subtraction. So after that, we have already eliminated the notebook. So 5 files minus 1 file, we're left with 4 files. Can you find out for me what's the difference between 2650 and 1050? Right? So it will be 16, right? Thank you, everybody. So it's 2650 minus 1050, and we will arrive at $16, right? So therefore, from here, can you help me find out what's the cost of 1 file? Right, Kenzie, you're okay. Nicole, just now you share your answers. So when I'm explaining, I will probably normally don't respond to the answers, because there are a lot of students who are looking for this direction. So after that, then I'll look at the answers. Yeah, everybody. Okay, Puvika, your answer is correct. Linus is correct as well. Jaden, you're correct. Rishi, good job. Dharma. All right, so it looks like everybody is able to do it. So 16 divided by 4, you get $4, right? So the answer to this question, so we are able to find that 1 notebook, 1 file is $4. But we're not looking for file, we're looking for notebooks, right? So the next thing is we will substitute over here, right? So remember, 2 notebook plus a file is equals to $10.50. So here we already find out that this one is $4. So 2 notebook, can you find out for me what's the cost? 10.50 minus 4. What do we get? Okay, thank you everybody. We will have 650. Right. So 650 is over here. Then we find out what's the cost of a notebook. Right. So now, can I give you 20 seconds? Look out your answer and share with me in the chat. Okay, Douglas, Meredith, your answers are correct. How about the rest of you? Once you have it, Kavita. Okay, good. Since that everybody is able to get the answer and you are quite responsive, that's very good. So divide by 2, you should get $3.25, right? So that's a part of the answer. So we always look for the part that we can eliminate easily. That's number 1 before we work out. So we find out one item already, then from one item we can substitute and find the other items. So the answer to this question is $3.25, right? So those who have not responded, you have the same answer, same thing. Can you type me too? So that I know that you can follow. Same thing, if you're not sure, please type a question mark, then I'll be glad to explain to you one more time. Okay, great. Thank you, Chloe. A smiley face, right? Okay, so everybody is okay? Now, if you're ready, can you help me type Q3? Then I can move on to question 3. Right, let's move on to the next question. I think you should be typing question 3, right? So in this question, this is also related to simultaneous equation. It says that during a sale, 2 similar shirts and 1 pair of pants cost $180. Mr. Lim bought 4 similar shirts and 3 pairs of pants for $437. How much did 1 pair of pants cost? So in this question, we need to identify the 2 items, right? I'm sure you're able to identify 2 items. One of the items are shirts, the other items are the pants. And here we have our first equation, right? 2 shirts and 1 pair of pants cost $180. Here's the next set of equation that states that 4 shirts and 3 pairs of pants cost $437. So here is the second one. So we're going to write the 2 equations up. So here we have 2 shirts and 1 pair of pants cost $180. Okay, let's omit the dollar sign for now. The next equation is here, right? 4 shirts and 3 pair of pants cost us $437. Now, can you tell me which item should we eliminate? The shirt or the pants? Right? We should eliminate the shirt because, good job everybody, because we are looking for the pair of pants, right? So here is 2 shirts. Here is 4 shirts. Here is 2 shirts. So naturally, we multiply this equation by 2. Then we'll have 4 shirts here plus 2 pair of pants. Can you help me multiply 180 by 2 and give me an answer? Right, we should get 360. Right, 360. So let's compare. This equation, the total is 360. This equation, the total is 437. So this is a bigger equation. So we'll rewrite this equation. I use a different pen over here, right? So now, without me explaining further, can I give you 1 minute? You work out for me the cost of 1 pair of pants. This is what the question is asking for. Okay, seems like you don't need 1 minute. It's quite fast, huh? Okay, Most of you got it. So you should know that we are going to do a subtraction, right? So when we do a subtraction, we already cancel away the 4 shirts, which is our original objective, right? So then we have 3 pants minus 2 pants, that's equals to 1 pair of pants. So 1 pair of pants is 437. Yes, you can do brick model, you can do any other model, any other strategy that you want to, right? As long as your answer is similar to mine. Right, so in other words, in the end, your answer should be 77, right? So 77 would be the answer. So how many of you, those that responded, congratulations, your answer is correct. And the rest of you, if you have 77 as well, since it's question 3, can you type me 3? Okay. Okay, good. So everybody got the answer. You don't have the answer, also give me a question mark, then I can help to explain to you, all right? Okay, so far? All right, if you're okay, just let me know, okay? If it's too fast, you let me know, then I can maybe slow down my pace if needed be, right? So if the pace is okay with you, please type good or type okay, then I can, oh, too fast, then I can go a bit slower, all right? Okay, so let's move on to the next segment. Right, in the next segment, we'll be solving some trending questions, right? As I mentioned, some trending questions that are extracted from past year's CA1. Right, from this question, I extracted from Henry Park Primary School in 2019. And this is a CA1 paper for Primary 5. Right, so let me read the question. So Cassandra had 5 times as many beats as Charmaine at first. After Cassandra gave away 648 beats and Charmaine received 216 beats, they had the same number of beats in the end. So how many beats did Cassandra have at first? So after you read the question, let's underline some of the keywords in this question. So the keywords in the question is this comparison here that states 5 times. Yeah, Nicole, can you wait for me? As I mentioned, I will not let you know whether the answer is correct or not until I work it out to the end. Okay? So please practice some patience. So after Cassandra gave away 648 beats, so giveaway, and Charmaine received 216 beats, they have the same number of beats in the end. So from here, from this 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of keywords, we need to find out how many beats did Cassandra have at first. So let me map out what you need to do. First thing is you need to draw a model that states that Cassandra has 5 times as many beats as Charmaine. So let's do it first. So here is Cassandra. Here is Charmaine. C for Cassandra, S for Charmaine, right? And then Charmaine is 1 unit and Cassandra has I can only go back at the end of the lesson, right? So maybe at the end of the lesson, Jamie, you can stay back in a short while, then I can share with you. Okay, so here, then, so we have 5 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Here's 1 unit. The next step we need to do is, so here says, Cassandra gave away 640 beats and Charmaine received 216. So I think to receive is easier to draw, right? So I'm going to draw receive first. So you receive up to this point, you add 216. Okay, so far everybody can follow? Can follow, please type a yes, right? So if you're copying also, please remember, copy the working, don't copy the question, right? So next, then Cassandra gave away 640 beats. So, and then they have the same number of beats. That means if Charmaine has this number of beats, then we draw dotted line. In the end, Cassandra will also have the same number of bits, right, up to this point. So this is the part that was given away by Cassandra. And this value is equals to 648. So far, so good. Okay, right. So the next thing is, so you notice that this is 1 unit. So can you tell me from here to here, this is equals to how many units? Can you check the model and let me know? Right. Okay, Meredith, you're the first to respond. Good. Right. You sure it's 5 units, Karen? Can you calculate? Can you look carefully? Can I give you a clue? Is it 3 unit? Number 1, 4 unit, 3, 5 unit. Which one is it? Choice 1, choice 2, choice 3, right? Right, it should be 4 units. You can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So find out for me the cost of this, the value of these 4 units, which is 216 plus 648. Right, very good. So most of you have got it. Is 864, right? 864 over here. Then the next thing is we need to find the value of 1 unit. So 1 unit, can you help me do a division? 864 divided by 4. And what do you get? Okay, 216. Very good. Sharisha, I think you have a typo. You have 4 digits. Now, so we find out that 1 unit equals to 216. So then we need to find out how many bits did Cassandra have at first. Can I give you a minute? You look at my model, you read the question. We already know that 1 unit is 216. How many bits does Cassandra have? Work it out and share your answers with me. Yes, Jaden. Yeah. Yes, Evie. Okay, Chloe got it. Kenzie got it. Mikhail, Sanvi. Right, everybody knows that we have 5 units for Cassandra. Therefore, we take 216, we multiply by 5, and we will get 1080, right? So answers to this question will be 1080. Okay, how many of you have the question? Can you type, since the first question, you type me 1. Okay, let's just distinguish all this, right? Okay, great. Can I give you 20 seconds to copy everything? Once you have copied, you can type done. Mikhail, you have a question, please let me know. You need to type out your question. Okay. Why is it that 648 equals to 3 unit? No, it's not 3 unit. 3 unit is up to here. This is, we don't know how many units is 648. It's just, this is somewhere between 2 unit and 3 unit, right? It's just the way I illustrate the model, right? Most importantly, you need to know that the sum of 216 and 648 is equivalent to 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Is that clear to you, Mikhail? This question comes out in the school CA1 paper for P5, right? Yeah, similar questions will be tested in PSLE. Yeah, this is under the whole numbers topic. Okay, so next, let's move on. Okay, if you're ready to move on to the second question, please type Q2. Okay, so now, good enough. So let's move on to the second question. Jermaine, okay, ready? Just to check with you, just now you weren't able to copy, so sorry, didn't check with you. Okay, if you're okay, just let me know. Okay, like question 2, then we're able to move on. All right, I'm going to read the question now. So in this question, it says that some potted plants were arranged at equal distance in rows. Each row has 45 pots. When 30 more potted plants were added, they had to be rearranged. After that, each row has 42 potted plants, and there were 3 more rows than before. So how many potted plants were there at first? Now, to solve this question, let's go back and highlight some of the keywords. So first, we know that they were arranged at equal distance. Okay, next. Then we know that each row has 45 pots. So when 30 more pots were added, so you add 30 more, they had to rearrange. After that, each row has 42 potted plants, and there are 3 more rows. So how many potted plants were there at first? Okay, so now the first thing is, we know that we have one moment, let me do some setting. Okay, so first of all, we have to find out. So we have, they are equal. So each row has 45. So when 30 more pots were, so we don't know how many rows are there. So we will do this, right? So this is before, and this is after. So the number of rows here, we don't know, so we put 1 unit. But we know the pots per row, right? Or plants per row, okay, pots per row. We know that at first each row has 45. So when we work out the total, 45 times 1 unit, we have 45 units. Okay, up to this point, do we understand? Yes or no? If yes, please type a yes. If not, type a question mark, right? So this is the unit that we need to find out. Okay, so the next thing is, now, after that, each row has 42 potted plants. We just let the number of rows be a unit. And we have 45 per row, right? So 45 times 1 unit will give you 45 units. So Chloe, is it okay now? So the next thing is, after you added some plants, we have 42 potted plants per row, right? So each row has 42. What is the unit? You can put units. If you're not clear, we can write 1 unit. Maybe that will make it clearer to you. So here we have 45 units. Now, how many more rows do we have? There are 3 more rows than before. So in other words, if we have 1 unit before, here we have 1 unit plus 3. Right? So now, yes, Verma, you're correct. So the next thing is we need to do a multiplication also, right? So, but now you have multiplied 2 things. So here is 1 unit times 42, we have 42 units. And then, can you help me multiply 3 times 42? 3 times 42. Can you do a quick calculation for me? 126. Thank you. 126. Now, so now let's find out. So we have before 45 units. After we have 42 units plus 126. After we added 30 more potted plants. So from here, let's try this equation. So before we have 42 units, 45 units, right? Let's put 45U. And later on, after we added 30 more 30 more pots. Now we have 42 units and 126. Right? So this is the model. So once I draw this model, it should be very clear to you. Okay, let me add some information inside. So I like to do this. Right? So here is 42 units. Here, can you tell me this box, how many units should I put? How many units should I put here? 3 units, right? Thank you. Because 45 minus 42 is 3 units. Here, this is 30. So can you find out for me? So 3 units plus 30 equals to 126. So let me write this down. 3 units plus 30 equals to 126. Can you find out for me what's the value of 3 units? So 3 units is the difference between 126 and 30. So what's the final answer for this? So we'll have 96. Right? So if 3 units is 96, can you help me find out what's the value of 1 unit? Right? 1 unit, we'll take 96, divide by 3, and we should arrive at 32. Now the question is asking us for how many potted plants were there at first. Let me highlight this part. Can you work out for me how many potted plants are there at first? I've already given you the clue already. Just look it up and let me have the answer. Right, Mikhail, you're correct. Douglas, you're fine. Your answer is similar to mine. Right, so want to find total at first. We already worked out that 1 unit is 32. And we found out that we have 45 units. What will be the answer? Okay, Nico is correct, Meredith is correct. So we have 32 times 45, right? And we should arrive at 1440. So that will be the answer to this question. Okay, how many of you are able to work out to 1440? Let me know. You have? This is number 2, right? Can you type for me, me too? Okay, right. Can I give you 20 seconds? You copy out everything, then you type done, then we can proceed to question 3. Okay, once you're ready, yes, Jaden, you can type Q3. Then we move on to question 3. Okay, I'll be erasing the screen in about 5 more seconds. Okay, let's move. So here's question 3. Now, this is a P6 question taken from, if I'm not wrong, Tanjung Katong Primary School, CA1 in 2021. Right, in this question, 360 stamps were shared among 3 friends, Anne, Berlin, and Kathy. Anne had 30 more stamps than Berlin. Kathy has half as many stamps as Anne and Berlin. So how many stamps did Berlin have? Okay, so first thing, after we read the question, is to highlight some of the keywords. So we have this is the total shared by 3 friends. The next thing is Anne has 30 more. So we draw a model, N will be the longer bar model, right? Then the next thing is yeah, so your message, Janelle, there's nobody coming in. So if she's in, if she's waiting at the waiting, if she's in the waiting room, I'll let her in. Then the next thing we need to do is Kathy has half as many stamps as Anne and Berlin. So how many stamps did Berlin have? So now, this is half. So later we will have to illustrate this part as well. Huh? So the first thing is, we're going to draw a model between N and Berlin. So N and Berlin. Okay. So N definitely has a longer bar model as compared to Berlin, right? Okay, let's draw it this way because I think I need to extend it a little bit more. So at the moment, this is 30. Now, the next thing is Cathy has half or as many stamps as N and Berlin. So before we can draw Cathy, then we need to check everything, right? So now, what are we checking? So Cathy has half as many stamps as N and Berlin. So if you have half of Berlin, that means this unit we have to divide by 2. So this unit divide by 2, then we have to divide the top by 2 as well, right? Then we also have to split half of N and pass to and distribute to Cathy, right? So this unit we divide by 2, that's fine. Since we have 2 units, then 1 unit we can assign to Cathy. And then this is 30. So we also have to divide 30 by 2. Can you tell me what should I put over here? 15, right? Because the whole thing is 30. So each of them must be 15. So now, let's do it part by part. Half of Berlin means Cathy will receive 1 unit, right? And then half of N. N has 2 units and 2 15. Half of N means you take another 1 unit here and 15. And lastly, their total efforts is 360. Okay, at this point, how many of you understand my model? If you understand, please type yes. Okay. So those who say yes, right, can you calculate for me how many units are there on the left side? And let me know in the chat. How many units are there on the left side? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 units and 3 sets of 15. So let 1, 2, 3. So 3 sets of 15 equals to 360. How many of you can solve this equation? If you can solve this equation, please type yes. I think most of the P6 can solve this equation, right? Yeah. How many of the P5 can solve this equation as well? Right? So let's try this. So 6 unit, I'm sure you know that 3 times 15 is 45. And this is equals to 360. Right? Yeah, Vishwa, you're correct. So now can you find for me what's the value of 6 unit? Can you find the difference between 360 and 45? Okay, so you know that we need to do a subtraction, right? Okay, Sambi, you're correct. Divang, you're correct. So the answer here is 315. Okay, up to this point, everybody okay? If okay, you understand, please type the word good so that I know that you can follow. Can? Okay, great. So the next step, you help me find out what's the value of 1 unit. Very good, thank you. Right, you should have a decimal place, but it's fine, right? So this is 315 divided by 6. How many of you are able to get 52.5? Right, type me if you can get this. Hey, great. Last step. How many stamps did Berlin have? Now, I'm not going to prompt you. You're going to share with me what's the answer, right? Okay, we're going to find out for Berlin. Somebody raise a question. 103, Meredith, I think you have to rework your answer. It's slightly, you're very close, but it's different from mine. Okay, right. Berlin has 2 units. If one unit is 52.5, therefore we take 52.5 times 2. And we have arrived at 105. So this is the final answer. How many of you have 105 as well? So that would be the answer. Okay, if you have, very good, you can type me 3. This was question 3. Okay. Do you need me to explain again? If you need me to explain again, please type the word explain. Right? If you don't need, can I give you 30 seconds? You copy everything. Once you're done, please type the word done. Right? As usual, right? So that gives me a signal that I can move on to question 4. Okay, very good. Some of you already know the usual routine. After you type done, then you type Q4. Then you can move on to the question 4. Okay, let's move on. So the next thing, right? Let's move to the next question. So here's question 4. So this question is taken from, if I'm not wrong, it's HIJ Katong, CA1 last year, right? This is a P6 question in paper 2. Now, Jessie and Paige went shopping together with a total sum of $87. Jessie spent 2 times as much as Paige, and Paige was left with $13 more than what she spent, and 2 times as much money left as Jessie, right? So how much did Paige have at first? So now we have these few clues here. So we're going to use model drawing to help us understand. The total amount is $87. Now, here's the next thing. So Jessie spent 2 times as much as Paige. Now, before we do anything, let's draw out this part, right? So here, we're going to draw a model to illustrate the spending. Yeah, the spending. Paige is a MediaCorp artist. Wow, you know MediaCorp artist. Jaden, very good. So next, so Jessie spent 2 times as much as Paige. So we have Jessie over here, and we have Paige over here, right? So in terms of spending, Jessie and Paige, right? So this is the spending. Spends. Right. Next, let me use a different pen. So now, Paige is left with $13 more than what she spent. She spent 1 unit. So whatever she's left must be 1 unit plus 13. Do you agree with me? Right, this part okay? Can follow? If you can follow, please type yes. We're doing this part. That Paige was left with 13 more than what she spent. If she spent 1 unit, she's left with $13 more than 1 unit, right? So this is what she's. Now, the next thing. Now whatever she has left is 2 times of Jessie. Now, so we have to split this into 2, right? So first, let's look at. So this is 1 unit. If this is double of what Jessie has left, do you agree with me that Jessie is left with half a unit or 0.5 unit? And then we also have to divide 13 by 2, right? So 1 unit divided by 2 is 0.5 unit. What about 13 divided by 2? What do we get? 6.5. Very good, right? So here we have 6.5. So effectively, this is what was left for Jessie, right? So if Paige is left with 1 unit and 13, Jessie will be left with 0.5 units and 6.5. And the beginning total is $87. All right, can you help me find out how many units are there on the left side, right? How many units are there on the left side? You need to add this and this as well. Don't forget, how many units are there in total? You forgot the 0.5 EV. Right, Douglas, you're correct. So here we have 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, and half a unit. We should have 4.5 units, right? And can you add up for me 13 plus 6.5? What do we get? 13 and 6.5. Right, Douglas, can the rest of you also participate in the calculation as well? Right, Mikhail, you're correct. So here is 19.5, right? And this will give us a total of $87. Can you help me find out what's the value of 4.5 units? That means the difference between 87 and 19.5. So you will have 67.5, right? 67.5. So from here, I'll use this side. Can you help me find the value of 1 unit? Yeah, this time around, you need to use a calculator. If 4.5 units is 67.5, you need to 67.5 divided by 4.5 units. And what do we get? Okay, Evie, you're correct. Evan, you're correct. Kevin, Rishima, you're correct. So 67.5 divided by 4.5. Rishi, use your calculator, try again. Can you check whether you can get 15 on your calculator? Yeah, 15. So now we can solve the question. How much did Paige have at first? Paige has 2 units and 13. We know this unit is equals to 15. We know this unit also equals to 15. Can you let me know what does Paige have at first? Can you do a simple calculation and let me know your final answer? Okay, so let's write out. So we have 2 units and 13. So we already know this unit is 15. This unit is 15. And this is 13, right? So in total, yeah, Vishwa, what's your answer? You type out already now. You have, okay, so you should get $443. Good job, everybody. Can you let me know, those who have not responded, how many of you also have $43? You have, you know, right? It's question 4. You have to type me 4, right? Okay, right? So everybody understand? If you understand, please type yes. Those who are not very sure, then you have a question, you ask me, right? You type a question mark, then we'll respond to you. Otherwise, can I give you another 20 seconds? Go through the thing and copy it out and let me know. Okay, Ashton, which part you are not sure? So first of all, Ashton, are you P5 or P6? P5, this is a P6 question. So it is a bit, it should be a little bit more difficult. So, but I'll try my best to explain to you again. So first part, do you know that the spending based on this, right? This first step, that Jessie spent 2 times as much as Paige. So do you agree with me that Jessie spent 2 units and Paige spent 1 unit? Yes or no? If you yes, please type yes. Yep. Next. So Paige is left with 13 more than what she spent. So that means she has 1 unit. Yeah, I clear out some of the markings. So if Paige spent 1 unit, then what she's left is 1 unit plus 13. Okay, this part, do you understand? Step 2. Step 2. Okay, now whatever Jessie is, Peach is left with 2 times as much as what Jessie has left. Therefore, if Peach has 1 unit left, Jessie will have half unit. If Peach has $13 left, Jessie will have 6.5. So up to this part, this is step 3. Do you agree with me? Ashton, this part okay? Okay. So if we add up everything, we have 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 4.5 unit, right? So this is 4.5 units. So 13 plus 6.5 is 19.5 units. And this is equals to 87. This is step 4. Step 4, okay, Ashton? Right. So in order to find the value of 4.5 units, we do a subtraction from 87 minus 19.5. Then we get 67.5. That is step 5. Are that okay? I need a response. So if 4.5 units is 67.5, therefore to find 1 unit, we divide this value by 4.5 and we get 15. Do you use a calculator and get the answer? Yes or no? Okay. So if this is 15, we need to find how much did Peach have at first. Peach has 2 units and 13. 1 unit is 15. So this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit, this is 13. We add up, we get $43. Let me know if you're okay with this. Okay, all right. So the rest of you, if you have questions, you're still not sure, you need to stay back for a short while because I need to move on already because I promise everybody will end at 9 o'clock. So, all right. Oh, Vishwa not done. Oh, have a copy. Can you copy already? Then let me know. Just type the word done after you complete. Okay, finish copy, please type done, then we can move on. Yeah, all right. I'll answer your question later, Rishi, right? So this is all right, all this question already. So next, let's clear the question. Okay, thank you, Vishwa. So let's go back to the slide. So we have already completed the question. Question 4 is the last one, right? The last one is to tell you about the program, which I'll share with you in a short while. Okay, so we finished 4 questions already. So let's do some lesson recap. So can you tell me which part is it part 1? So let's do some recap. Which one is more challenging? Part 1 or part 2? Part 1 or part 2, right? Part 1. Okay, some say part 2. Majority says part 2. Now, if you say part 2, right? Okay, then the next thing I want to find out is there are 4 questions. Question 1, question 2, question 3, and question 4. Which of these 4 questions you find is challenging to you? Oh, okay, I'll take a vote. Some people say this, and then I put tick. Some say question 1, I put tick. Question 4, question 2. What, 4 and 2? 4, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, and 2, 2. The rest of you, 4, 4. We have a 2 somewhere, right? Then we have another 4. Okay, so seems like question 4 is harder. Now, no worries. What I'll do is I'll upload the video onto our portal, onto our web page. I'll send the link to your parents, right? If the mobile number given is yours, then we'll text you as well, right? So then you can revisit the video and redo the question one more time so that you're able to master the techniques in solving this. Is that okay? If it's okay, please type yes, right? So, okay, so there'll be a lesson replay. The replay will be posted onto our website, and normally it's within 2 days. Then we'll let you know when it's up. All right. So you also can visit our YouTube channel. It will also be there as well. So I'll share some of those things with you. Okay, next. So the next part will be some announcement before we end the lesson. So these are your upcoming assessment in March. We have the written assessment 1 that applies for P5 and P6. In May, we have written assessment 2 for P5 and SA1 for P6. Of course, August is the busy month. Then we will have WA3 for P5 and prelim will be P6. So you can see you have a very packed calendar for assessment. All right. Oh, your WA is 28. Okay, noted. So now, now to help you prepare for your mid-year, okay, we are organizing a Math Mastery Bootcamp for P5 and P6 as well. So if you think you want to improve, okay, your problem sum skills and solve it with more effectiveness, so I would like to invite you to sign up for our Math Mastery Bootcamp in June. So what we will be doing in this bootcamp, let me explain to you. So during the March holiday, this program is designed based on our proven score system to help students. Number 1 is to strengthen their understanding of the math concept. Number 2, we're going to provide some easy to follow steps that will help you to sharpen your problem solving skills. Okay, number 3, okay, we will get you prepared and ready for your upcoming assessment. That is mid-year. Okay, for P6 will be SA1 and for P5 will be WA2, right? So the next thing, okay, let's chat later. So the next event that we're going to organize is on 20th February, 10 a.m. This will be our webinar. This is our preview to our program. So where we will share techniques that will help you, or if your parents listening in, your child, tackle problem sums and score their AL1 and AL3 to AL3 in 6 months or less, right? So these are 2 of my former students. Right, these are some of my former students. So yeah, thank you, Zafir. So I will take note of that. So this is how they, in 1 semester, they're able to jump from D to A, or in terms of Iandra, she's able to jump 2 grades and improve 23 marks within 60 days. So if you're interested, we'll be sending you some of this information via email tomorrow. All right, who will be interested in signing up either for the March holiday bootcamp or the June, right? Or this webinar that I'm organizing next Sunday, right? Okay, good. So I'll be sending all this information to your parents. So remind your parents to sign up for the program, all right? So maybe I can send you to the chat. So if you can register now so that we will reserve a place for you, right? Let me open up and send to everyone. Okay, so this will be for the webinar, and then the other one I don't have the link, so the other one I will probably send it to you later. Okay, lastly, now if you enjoy our lesson, so we also like to invite you for our trial lesson. So you can, let me go to the picture. So here's the web page that you can sign up for. Right. So you can go to this web page where you can see me once again explaining what is the score system. Right at the bottom, there's a sign up for free trial. So you can go out and sign up for free trial. Then we offer both online and on-site classes. So on-site will be at Parkway Center, online will be via Zoom. So if you're interested, please also let your parents know so that they're able to log in and go to sign up and book a trial session for you. All right. Okay. Lastly, okay, you've been a great audience. I'd like to thank you for your participation. Okay, it's been quite enjoyable 1 hour teaching you some of these tricks on problem sums. And I hope you enjoy. How many of you enjoyed the lesson and want to see me on one more next week? Let me know. If nobody, then we'll cancel next week. If you want, then you let me know. Type me, right? Okay, thank you. Me enjoy. Okay, Kai Feng, good. Okay, so now, right, if you do, please remember next week, same time, Friday, 8 p.m. I'll see you next Friday. All right, I'll see you again for lesson 2. Okay, if you have any questions, you can stay back and ask me. Otherwise, you can obviously send a WhatsApp to us to this number, or our email is over here. And for more information, I'll already send you the text. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.